Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. I have a question that came in to customer service from Randy Wolf. Randy Wolf from Atlanta. Don, I have a question pertaining to tempo versus swing speed, in parentheses, more power, when hitting my irons. I hit my driver, fairway metals, and Doc's hybrids really good. Yeah, Randy's been a Doc and got himself fitted. Okay. He says, I find that for me to strike the ball solid, I must really watch my tempo, again in parentheses, swing speed. If I try to increase my swing speed / tempo to generate more club head speed, which should equal more power and distance, I hit it thin or weak right. As you know, I am a 3/4 vertical swinger and try to use centrifugal force to generate speed. I want to get to my Pop-Tart tee finish position, but if I increase my speed / transition too fast, I have poor results. Any thoughts? Can you also touch on tempo versus rhythm with the PPGS? Okay, Randy. Yeah, you're definitely vertical. And so you're having a problem with tempo and I would think also timing. All right, so let's start with some definitions here. Tempo is the speed or the rhythm of your golf swing, sort of like the drum beat to your swing at. All right, many folks have been told that tempo would very likely in your golf swing kind of correlate to or match what your normal tempo would be in your everyday life. Your speed of your swing should match your personality. I'm like a high D personality, type A. I talk fast. Is like that's nothing new for y'all knowing that, right? Anybody who's been in a golf school or a golf lesson with me, I can really spit out the words pretty quick. I walk fast. I talk fast. I do a lot of things relatively fast. And so my swing kind of is a little bit in a faster mode. Now, so you have to decide what your tempo is, the speed. Timing. Timing is the proper sequential movement of the parts of the body. That is there is a, so to speak, a kinematic sequence where power comes from. And that sequence is like when I tell folks I start the golf swing trying to feel like even though my swing starts in my right hip and my right shoulder turning, it's the object to move the club first so I get the club going. It goes club, hands, arms, shoulders, torso, hips, legs, and feet all the way this way, all right? And then its downswing starts from the ground up, okay? And so, which means now the feet, the knees, the hips go. When I get that ring the bell and bump, the spine goes backwards. That eventually pulls the arms down, and then once the arms get that little free fall, I fire the hands and arms, and my whole right side fire to impact and through up to the tee finish. So that's timing. So I think where Randy's getting in trouble is that when he says when he wants to create centrifugal force in the swing, we know that the definition of centrifugal force is if I had a rock hanging on a string here and it's just hanging there and I flipped it up in the air and got it going, as the rock starts going in faster and faster to the point where I could possibly even hear the rock, the string humming, like this, what's going to happen? My hand moves less. So the symbolism in the golf swing is that with the peak performance swing, we create club head speed through centrifugal force, not body rotations like almost 99% of the rest of the world is doing. So this is the rock. The club head's the rock. The shaft in your left arm is the string in the backswing to impact, and then your lower arm, or for right-handed the right arm, would become the string in the follow-through to the finish. So we move our body less so we can swing our arms faster. I think DJ gave the greatest definition of power when one of my students one day, DJ was hitting balls behind us, and I'm giving a lesson, and I talked to the student. I said, according to general golf instruction, what does any golfer do if he wants to hit the ball, say, hit this next shot harder or farther? And the answer he said was exactly correct. You widen your stance because you're going to take a bigger turn and a longer backswing. And I said, well, are we going to do that? And he said, no. I said, well, what are we going to do? So instead of just answering it, he just yelled over to DJ, which is about as far back as that tree behind me. And he said, hey, DJ, what do you do when you want to hit the ball farther or harder? And DJ was standing over the ball just about ready to pull the trigger, and he just looked up and he kind of stood up like this, and he said, I hold my knees more and I swing my arms faster that way. All right, and that's exactly what Randy's saying right here. So, but the point is, he says, I want to get my Pop-Tart tee finished, but if I increase my speed transition too fast, I have poor results. Any thoughts? And I think what's happening is I think that your timing's getting off. All right, and you're very likely, Randy, when you start trying to hit the ball harder or increase your speed, what you're actually going to do is you're going to bump too soon and get out of position. Or what you do is, in hitting it harder, you're actually activating your arms in your upper body, and you're moving forward ahead of the ball. And that, I think, is where the problem is coming in. And so that could be a double dose of it. Because I really think, is tempo more important than timing? Is timing more important than tempo? I think they're both important. Because realistically, I think you got to have them both. They both got to be running on smooth. They got to be. If you get too fast, your timing, you can't have the proper timing. If your timing is off, you very likely don't have the proper tempo. And so they both have to. They're both one and the same. I think one can hurt the other. And I really think in many cases, again, I think it starts with trying to hit the ball too hard, which definitely is going to make you start swinging faster, which means then your timing's gone. All right. So, and what do most of us want to do, especially when we get rid of, when we want to hit, we get to the long clubs, the woods, the hybrids, and especially if we take any iron out and we decide that we need to step on this one. As soon as you want to step on it, you tend to jump at it. Jumping at it's getting ahead of it, and therefore your timing's off. And you're trying to hit it hard. You tighten your muscles too much, which could actually slow you down. So now you're trying to pick up something somewhere. So you got to find your right tempo and your right timing, and stay within those, and don't ever get outside of them, because once you change them, you're just asking for troubles. And normally it's good tempo goes with good timing, and together they make great golf shots. Okay, so hopefully this answers your question, Randy. And for all of you out there who might be having the same issues as Randy, you got to know what your limits are, and you just most cases try and hit the ball really harder than what you normally can do is going to change your muscle tone, change your timing, tempo, and everything, and just wreak havoc. So you got to know what your limits are, stay well within your limits, and just go for making good smooth swings, hitting it solid and straight, so you can shoot those lower scores. That's it from the search for today, and I'll be talking to you all again soon.